What do y'all think about this book? Queen of Tejano Music, Selena. Written by Sylvia Lopez, illustrated by Paula Escobar. Lake Jackson, Texas, 1977. The music coming through the window caught six-year-old Selena Contilla's attention. She bounded indoors and raced through the kitchen, startling her mother. Marcella, "Where are you going, Sally?" Marcella asked. "To sing with them, Mommy," replied Selena. "They sound good." In the living room, Big Brother A.B. strummed a guitar while 9-year-old Suzette beat rhythm on the drums. Their father, Brahma, had spent weeks teaching his older children to play their instruments. It didn't always go on well. The kids often complained about practicing. They'd rather be out in the bright Texas sunshine. But that day, they were hitting all the right notes of "Blue Moon," a tune Selena knew. Chapter 3. Using hairbrush as a pretend microphone, Selena burst into sing. She had been singing almost since she could talk. Abraham, a musician himself in his younger days, listened more closely. His little girl had perfect pitch, and as Selena twirled and danced in step with the music, something else became clear. Selena was a performer. The Contillas. Years earlier, on Easter Sunday, April 18, 1971, Marcella and Brahma Cotilla had thought their third child would be a boy. A mom-to-be sharing a hospital room had picked a lovely name for her own baby, certain it was a girl. In a twist of fate, that that a mom-to-be sharing room name for her own baby, certain it was a girl. And in between of fate, that men had a boy at a loss fix. Okay. With a growing family, Abraham put away his music dreams and took a job with a chemical company in Lake Jackson, Texas. It was a good place to live. People of different ethnic groups get along well. Some were Hispanics or Latinos, mostly Mexican American Chilenos, like the Contillas. Neighbors remember the Contillas' children as happy and respectful. Selena seemed to have something magical. She had a smile bigger than life and a voice to match. Selena sang at family gatherings. She sang while walking to and from school. She sang in her class. She sang to her classmates at recess. Selena was a good student who could go far, said one teacher. She could win a scholarship. A family band. Music was always important to the Contillas. By 1980, they had formed a small band called Southern Pearl. The children practiced every day. They sounded is one day on sound-hand equipment in the garage. The walls were lined with carpet pieces so wheels wouldn't bother the neighbors. My children are all talented, Brahma said proudly, and Selena has stage presence. He arranged the music and booked performances at parties and country fairs every day. Everybody helped. My mom painted empty coffee cans black and to make spotlights, Selena said. In 1980, Brahma quit his job to open a Mexican-style restaurant called Papagrios. The band performed there most weekends, imitating her favorite American pop star artist. 9-year-old Selena's clear, strong voice soared over the clatter of dishes. Then, in early 1980s, the Contilla's life took a turn. Corpus Christ's times were tough in American. Jobs were hard to come by. People had test money to eat in had less money to eat in restaurants. Pedro's closed the small house in Lake Jackson, including the furniture, was sold to pay bills. The family moved to Corpus Christi, Texas. They rented a house in the Moline barrio, a middle-class neighborhood where many countries lived. For Selena, everything changed, making music, but now it became a way for her family to earn a living. We had no other to make money, Selena said. With her as the main attraction, she had the band took the name Selena by Dino's Selena and the Boys. Selena tried to look older than her 12 years old. She wore makeup and flashy homemade clothes and only on stage. At home, she was just like other kid, any other kid, although maybe more sheltered than most because Grandma was very strict. In any case, there was little time for closing since Selena was often busy releasing or performing, touring the countryside. Most gigs or bookings took place in On weekends, everyone from extra musicians to the family dog traveled in an old van together. Every time we turned, I rolled off the seat, Selena said, laughing. Money was still tight for the Contillas. The family traveled from town to town, either sleeping in their van or at expensive motels. The money earned went to buy food from roadside stands. You have to take what you can get when you're getting started, Selena said. We ate lots of hamburgers and shared everything. If only I had a if only a handful of people came to watch. The band still played their best. Those people had paid and they deserved a good show. The language challenge. On the road, Farmer noticed that many people asked for country music, also called Tex-Mex, like the Tejano people. Tejano or Tex-Mex music has a character all its own. All its own, and it is sung in Spanish, which was a problem for the Contella children who were born and raised in the U.S. They understood the language, but didn't speak it well. If the band was succeed, Selena had to learn to at least sing in Spanish. I can't, puppy, she complained. I don't know what all the words mean. Grandma wrote down how the words sounded and memorized them. Soon she was singing in Spanish with lots of feeling and no American accent. The audience were convinced she knew what she was saying. No place for a girl. You don't love her. As soon as a girl lead singer, Selena faced another obstacle. The Tejano tradition performers had always been male. Some places refused to book a band. People told my father we would never make it, Selena said. I wanted to prove them wrong. Selena's brother, A.B., had learned much about composing and agreeing music. He began writing new children's songs with a more modern beat. Young fans, especially girls, loved the band fun dance steps Selena created. Long Distance School in 1985, Selena the Boys released their first album with a small Texas company, radio stations liked it. liked it and the band got new gigs, but this created another problem. Selena was only 14 years old. Traveling meant that she often missed school. The family couldn't afford the pass up by looking, so Selena had to leave school in 8th grade. Right away, she wrote in 1985. Selena and Boys was also invited to be on a French television show. The Hands' lively new controller rhythm and flashy outfits were success. It brought bookings at more important events. Still, much of the money went to pay for equipment and travel. Whatever was left was divided equally. If we got $5 or $10, Selena said, we could go to Whataburger. Offstage, in her spare time, Selena decorated her costumes with prose rhythm tones and leads. Some of the outfits showed off her figure. At first, her dad was not happy. The music of Selena the Boys celebrated family values. Grandma didn't approve of drinking, drugs, or bad language. He didn't want his daughter giving the wrong impression. People like to see fancy costumes in the show on the shows, Poppy. Selena. Selena served him. They know who really am inside. Offstage, Selena led a quiet life. After performing, she would stay in the Hands' new bus nickname.